Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality. Hi, Tom Lawless here from Cymatic TV. We're here for that energy update in depth. So I don't know if you've watched that energy update from Friday the 30th. That was last Friday, all to do a little bit with the heart chakra. That was kicking off with an earthquake down in Greece and Turkey. So as promised, we had other things to talk about, like magnetic pole shift, and also in how the planets align, how they affect us, and how they help spread the message and the love around the solar system. So we're going to be going a little bit into that today. So you're getting a bit of a sort of an energy update bonus in a way. So here we go. Okay, so here we have the sun. Up in the top right hand corner is a lovely photograph. It's a composite photograph of different ways of looking at the sun. And what I wanted to show you, you can see that sunspot just dipping out on the right hand side. In the movie in the bottom right hand corner, this is the magnetic field. And you can see that sunspot coming through in this section here. And as it comes through, it overloads itself, and then it's like having a little bit of a blister on it. Here it comes, and then it blows out there. You can see it in the top screen there. It's just to sort of say how quickly things can change. Now, it already gone out of Earth-facing view. Let's just see the timestamp on this. So this was on the 28th of October. So this was on the Wednesday, and that was that whole sort of Wednesday thing that I was talking about, that maybe it might have been a little bit tied with relationships and etc. And we'll see a little bit why that could have kicked in, because of the activity of the sun. So just to sort of say how quickly that can all sort of pick in and pick up. And it's an interactive system. So it's as interactive or as alive as us human beings. So the energy does change, and it can change like that. Like some people in the world can just change like that. But so it's a good thing to keep an eye on what's going on. If there is something that kicks off, knowing where the planets are and etc., knowing what's going on, getting an overall view. You can feel it coming through the system, and it's like everything. It's like a firework. So you light the firework, that's the initial fuse that goes off here. If you can look on the top left hand corner, the video here. So that you light the fuse, there we go, we lit the fuse, and by the time the rocket takes time to get up to the top of the sky, and then it explodes, and that's when it happens, when it starts going a little bit out of view. And this is what was happening on the left hand, bottom left hand side. We're talking about that stopping, starting, stopping, starting. So there was lots of little rhythms kept just coming out and going forward and pushing through. And you would have felt it, I would have felt it, everybody would have felt it. So you might have thought that it was the outside world that's creating the pressure, but we are all contributing to it, and we're all part of it. And once we understand that, maybe we can learn to slide or ride or surf those sort of glitches of the system, so you don't get caught up and lost and taken off your pathway because of just a little bit of an energy blip, as it were. Okay, so let's just have a look at those sort of blasts that can go on. There was another one earlier on in the week, which I didn't unfortunately get a screen capture of. These two top videos up here on the left hand side, if you can see here, that is the Earth, that is Mercury, that is Venus, and that is Mars. Yeah, so Mars may appear to be returning in one way, where Mercury and Venus is going the other. It's just that the Earth is going quicker, obviously. Its orbit is a lot quicker than Mars, so it seems like it's going the other way. But as you can see, this bar here is equivalent of the magnetic pole, east magnetic pole, and there you got the west magnetic pole opposite of the sun. And then you obviously have the north and south magnetic poles. You have a multitude of magnetic poles on the sun. And as it's sweeping through, that does affect the Earth. And as you can see down on the left hand side here, as I just bucketed up the whole thing, do apologise. As you can see on the left hand side here, As it comes through, we should be getting a jolt from the sun, but there, as you can see here, that little solar flare, and it was tiny little thing, and it was probably just a magnetic filament that erupted from the sun, was blocking that polar field of the sun. So it was shielding the Earth yet again from vibrations coming from the sun. Because that flare, or that energy, that pulse of energy that comes out of the sun wasn't particularly strong, it didn't really affect us for a great deal, and we lost the effect of that pole, that eastern pole. I call it eastern, but it's not really, but eastern pole of the sun coming through. As you can see, if we play it again, coming back, it actually takes a swipe of Mercury on the way through. So as it does come towards us and it hits us there, it will hit us on the 1st of November, so which is tomorrow. You would have got the first initial shock, which was right at the beginning, which is that section there. So that's on the 27th, 28th. By the time it hits Mercury, we're on to the 29th. So that was that Wednesday effect. So, you know, this whole message will be completed on the 1st of November. Yes. So over on this side, on this one here, I'll just let that one roll through, just in case you want to have a look at that. Similar sort of thing going on here. Now, we had this arm come through again. This is all part of that stop-start energy that we've been experiencing all last week. So let's just see as it comes through. Here it is. And it hits... I buggered it up again. Well, it's not me, it's keynotes, actually. You know, well, I'm going to blame keynotes anyway. So as it comes through, here it is there. It's just before then. So if I just take it back, so there, we're looking at there at midday today. That's when that arm should really be hitting us. You can see at the same time in this section here, the flare is also hitting Mercury. So it's going to whip, because the energies will go quicker down that bar there. I've got to stop pointing at the screen because you guys can't see me pointing at the screen. I've got to use my mouse. So it will hit this Mars, so it will whip this energy down here. So there is a new message coming through. This one on the left-hand side is actually finished on the 1st of November, and the one on the right-hand side, the message is starting to come through at midday today, the 31st of October, and it will be coming through and hitting the Earth at... That will probably be the time. So we're hitting the 1st. So we're going to get a double whammy. So tomorrow, I think 1st is tomorrow, Sunday, the 1st of November. It could be a bit of a hectic day. You could feel your brain just scattering a little bit, kind of getting far too much information, understanding far too much. The best thing to do about that, it's a little bit like a computer. When you're downloading something, it's better to close off other screens so you can download a little quicker. So in the same respect for yourself, just sort of take time out and just download it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy downloading this information. So take time out to go and sit and meditate, go for a walk, or play a bit of sport and stuff like that, or just do something that just frees you up a little bit, that allows your mind to actually inject is not a nice word, but induce all of that sort of information coming out from the sun and obviously from the universe. As you can see on the top right hand screen, now this is what we call this is a satellite called LASCO. It is a C2 view. This is what happened last week. These are these eastern and western poles, as you like. There's solar flares connected to it. There's sunspots connected to all that sort of energies and stuff like that. And as it comes through the week, this is the beginning part of the week. So this is the 25th. This is the Sunday. We can see this sunspot coming around the corner here. As it comes around the corner, and later on in the week, we're up to the 26th, and there goes a little bit of a flare as you see kick off. There is another one that will go again on the 28th, 29th, I think. So we're up to the 28th and then the 29th. There we go. There's the 29th. It's the 28th, sorry, kicking in. And then we have a last little one on the right hand side. Here it goes there. And that comes through on the 30th. And this has been doing, in this section down here, this is the X-ray flux. And you can just see this X-ray energy, you know, playing and making that electric feeling that we've been having all this week. So you may think it's nervous energy, but it's not. It's giving you a lot more force if you know how to apply it. If you know how to connect your energy to this force, all of a sudden, rather than losing your energy in kind of going, should I do this, should I do that, should I do this, you're kind of going, you will know your evident path, you will know what you're supposed to be doing, therefore you will not lose your energy in doing other things. You will just simply do the things you have to do. The moment you realise that, people may turn up and say, oh, do you want to come do this, or do you want to do this, or we got to do this, we got to do this, and you're kind of going, no thanks actually, because I'm actually doing this, I'm sorry about that, maybe I'll do it another day. And it'll help you to be a little bit more concentrated on what you're doing and where you're going. Okay? So, that's the sort of vibration that's been coming through. And this is how the interconnection happens. Now, I talk about sunspots a lot and coronal holes. It's been mainly coronal holes over the last 5 years. So the sun's really slowed down. It's much more heavier energy over the last 5 years. And that brought up all that Extinction Rebellion, who seems to have disappeared because that flu is apparently going to do that for them. So obviously not, but you know, that's the sort of heavy energy. So it's been very doom and gloom sort of stuff. You know, oh no, the end of the world's coming. It might well be. It might well be coming tomorrow. You never know. Who knows? If it is coming tomorrow, do you really want to be bricking yourself, sitting shaking in the corner of your house? Or would you prefer to be out there walking around watching your kids play on the beach and then the end of the world happens? I know what I would choose, but that's me, you know what I mean? That's my personal choice. I would like to have the opportunity to choose that, but some people think that they've got dictation over me and over everybody else to tell them exactly what they should be doing. Not sure if that's a good idea. I prefer to live life fully until the very last breath and enjoy every step of the way. If I'm going to get run over by a bus, I'm going to get run over by a bus. I would prefer to be enjoying life just to that last second. And I'm not sure this is what we're doing. And I think this is when you look at the human world and look at what's going on in the vibrations, the vibrations are sort of saying, you know, the Earth's sort of saying, I provided all this stuff for you, and what have you done with it? You've locked down. The Earth and the heart chakra is sort of saying, don't worry about it. I'm here to be used and abused. Well, not necessarily used and abused, but she wants to provide for you, like all parents want to provide for their children. People will go without shoes just because they want their things for their children. The Earth has the same nurturing aspect. It wants to provide things for us, even if it means a little bit of detrimental to the Earth. But don't worry about the Earth. She knows what she's doing, and she's going to last so much longer than us humans. And she will sort us out, man. She will sort herself out. So anyway, back off my preaching rant, as it were. I do apologise about that. But so there is different types of vibration, and this is one of the things where we get into this intermediate stage between the coronal holes and those solar flares, where we get a lot more filaments because they grow out of that solar, those coronal holes and those sunspot areas, and the filaments. And this is one of the ones that you can see. You can see this filament running all the way across the top there. That was a result from this happening here, where a filament was created, and as you can see it gradually going around, you can see this filament gradually being made There it is, and it's a filament of plasma, so it's basically a little bit like stem cells, real building blocks of life energy that's coming through to us, and it could accompany that whole sort of that extra electricity that creates that eureka moments, kind of going, oh yeah, I know how to put it all together. So this, I think, is going to be coming up over the next sort of 2-3 months. I think we're going to be running this right through to January, February, really. So if you're going to get these eureka moments, apply them in your life and apply them in the life around you. It should be great, honestly. We will have a laugh. It is going to be a laugh. And we ain't going to be locking down. Well, I certainly don't hope so. You know what I mean? And it's about time we turn up and kind of go, thank you for the advice. We've heard everything you've said, but we personally have decided to do something else. Okay? Move aside, getting on. Okay? Talking about getting on, let's get on. Right, now, planets. We all talk about, you must have heard people talk about planet alignments and stuff like that. It starts going into that whole sort of polar shift as well, which we will be talking about. This is a map. The planetary system of the solar system, and this was the 25th or 4th, I think. And as you can see here, there is, I've lost my mouse now, there is an alignment between Mercury, the Sun, and Earth. And this was the same time when we had that alignment. So Mercury was also contributing to that stop-start because it was getting in the way of the vibration coming from the Sun. And then it took that solar flare for us. Well, took that solar flare. It would have been nice actually for us to receive it, maybe. But anyway, the Sun knows exactly what she's doing. I have faith in him or her, whichever one we want to call her, which is probably gender fluid. But I have complete and utter faith in the Sun, know what they're doing, and also I've got complete and utter faith in the Earth. You may not sometimes agree with it, or at the time, but in the long run, I should imagine the solar system knows exactly what we're doing. So Mercury has been getting in the way. I say getting in the way, but it is that messenger thing, and it is creating that message that should be coming through to us. If you're willing to listen to it, you will hear it. Now, when you get the alignments of these planets, obviously that makes a concentric magnetic field. So it increases the magnetic pull between the Earth. Sorry, I've lost it because I wanted to find my cursor, and I've lost my cursor still. Anyway, it obviously doesn't like the screen. But you get a magnetic field. So once you get between the two planets, you get these two planets. Obviously, they create a magnetic field. Then you've got the Sun as well, so it's going to be increasing it, making it much more poignant, much more electric, much more full on. So that was what was happening on the 24th, 25th, 26th. But as it pulls on the Earth, it's almost as if it's saying to the Earth, okay, it's like pole shift. So let's just have a quick sort of idea on pole shift. Magnetic pole shift. If you imagine you have a magnetic field, it turns in one way. As it gets to the end, it's wound itself up, and it's got to go the other way. That's exactly what happens. And we're getting to that stage now where the Earth is kind of, it's right up to as far as it can go, and it's ready to go and kick back the other way. Yeah, it's going to change stuff, and yeah, it's going to create a load of problems. If you think of this flu is causing problems, I really wouldn't worry about the flu if a magnetic pole shift is coming. It's probably a good idea to get your eyes and your head around that rather than this thing. It's not going to kill off the planet, that's for sure. It's not going to kill off all the animals and stuff like that. It is associated to mass extinctions, yes. But that's, in a way, it's just like cleaning the slate and leaving a space for everything to grow back. Animals, plants, the lot. This life cycle is perpetual. Do not believe that your life, my life, even your kid's life, your mum and dad's life, is the be-all and end-all. It is like, it is a never-ending system. And even with a solar system, and I'm going to be doing a future video on this and how a solar system is created and how it works and everything like that, it never really dies. So it's not just going to kind of one day just go and blow up. Maybe. But that's another video that you need to look at. So this is helping this sort of pole shift, because the message is coming through as well to Earth, not just to you, but also to the Earth, sort of saying pole shift is coming up, get ready, things are really rocking on. And you can see that with the magnetic poles, which we went into the energy update in the 23rd of October. Look through our videos, you'll be able to see on that, you'll be able to get a bit more information. So here is a little video that I did. As you can see, this is the configuration. It's actually on the 23rd. As this gradually goes through, you can see naturally Mercury moving on out of the connection between the Earth, and it does really around the sort of 29th, 30th, probably about the 29th, and now it's out, and that's when it sort of takes the kit. So it's sort of creating that V shape between Earth, Venus. So you're creating this funneling effect of energy. And the next time we should really be looking out for the planetary alignments is, as you can see down below, here we have Mercury coming into play with Venus. So it's going to do the same thing with Venus. So on the, I think it's the 21st of November, so we should have got that message through on the 1st of November, those 2 or 3 messages at the same time. Let me just stop it there. And then you're going to get this alignment between Venus and Mercury, but look how square that is. Yeah, so that is squaring the Earth. So the Earth energy that is receiving it, and the one thing you can't see here at the moment is out the back here is Jupiter. Yeah, and Jupiter and Saturn are pretty much in an alignment as well. So you're going to get an alignment with these 4 planets. It's going to pull the energy. It's going to pull the energy of the Earth. This here. So expect maybe strong earthquakes around that time as well. Between the time of, I would say, between the 18th of November right up to probably around about the 23rd of November, around that sort of time. If you start understanding this sort of thing, some of the things that happen in life, you can actually turn around and kind of go, okay, that's the outer system. It's not necessarily me, but I do have to react to it. So you've got to stop beating yourself up, you know. And as I say, you know, life is perpetual, but physical things come to an end. You know, no one wins, no one loses. The only thing you can lose is by not living life. That's the only thing you can really lose. So, and I can guarantee you there is, I'm certainly not allowed to promise you anything, but I know that there is nothing to win either. You're not going to take anything with you. Everything belongs to the Earth, and you've got to leave it there. What you're taking with you, though, is your experience, and that is important. Going back to this pole shift, yeah, before I whittle on too much. Bottom left-hand corner is the polar vortex, which is a natural thing, which we covered in the news on the update on the 23rd of October. And I wanted to go into this again. So as you can see in the top left-hand corner, this is my map, which I'd done nearly 20 years ago, of the energy lines, the main energy lines, and the vortexes it creates in the southern poles. So you get this sort of Star of David effect, if you like. And these dotted lines are the lines that are southern hemisphere driven. And what was happening in the last week, because they do change regularly. And when there is no outer influence, you can then start really hearing the message of the Earth. So this is last week. So down here on the left hand side, you've got last week down here on the left hand side of the South Pole. That was pulling up through this section here, and it was really that tightened. And now, this week, it's a little bit different, and we're starting to find that triangle there in this section here. So it's starting to go from that shift from the autumn's equinox or spring equinox in the southern hemisphere, and moving halfway point to the winter solstice. So it's almost as if the shift is getting into the middle, like the pendulum has got to the end. It sort of slowed down. It got a bit pulled in one direction last week, and now it's starting its journey back the other way. And it's like a mini pole shift in a way. And when you can hear it, you can, when things are quiet, you'll be able to notice these things going on. Obviously, a pole shift takes a long time. In fact, we're permanently in a pole shift because it is like a pendulum that goes up one way and it is still shifting from one pole to the other. Once it gets up there, it sort of stops for 2 seconds and then starts going the other way. So we're in this permanent pole shift, but we have this motion of going one way for, say, like 200,000 years. It gets to stop, and then we got 200,000 years of it going the other way, gets to stop. So it's this swinging pendulum factor of a magnetic pole shift. And we've come to that point now where it's kind of going stopping, okay, and it's going to be going back the other way. And it will be sudden, and it will be just like that. But it will only be noticeable in the outer world over a long period. Now that could be anything from 5 years up to 3,000 years. I personally think this one's going to be pretty quick, pretty hectic, and so stop distracting yourself with flu, because it's always going to be there, don't worry about it. Stop distracting yourself with that and start getting involved with your energies, the energies of the world, and find out what's going on. Okay? So this is just having an idea and looking at many different aspects. You can actually start to understand yourself better. Once you understand yourself better, then you can apply yourself better in life. Therefore, yeah, you're going to still have problems in life, but they will be a lot less important, and they will cause a lot less destruction or complexity within your life, and it will be a lot easier to deal with. So going on for that, let's get back to that heart chakra that was ringing out this week. Here we have the heart chakra is up here in the UK. We have that earthquake that was down there between Greece and Turkey. And it was, as I say, ringing the exterior. So it's basically the cells on the outside of the heart which is concerned with timing, rather than the hard muscular sort of stuff. So basically, it's been it's like you had heart palpitations. This is what's happening, but it's quite a strong one, very strong one actually. And once that happens on Earth, what we should be conscious about is that message that is coming through. It's obviously concerning the heart a little bit and how we're not enjoying life and we're all living in fear, and that should come to an end. That is the biggest crime against our kids and anybody else living. Yeah. And that is the message that's coming through, I think, from the universe and from the Earth. It's sort of saying, don't worry about it, just enjoy it. If it's all going to end tomorrow, it's all going to end tomorrow. And we can also then see this in the configurations of the planets, also trying to help with this message, also trying to get this message through, sort of saying, don't worry about it, enjoy your life, but also, we all live on this planet and we all live together. No one is going anywhere until obviously you get, your body turns around and says, I'm not having any more. And when it does, then that's fine. Then your spirit just goes off, don't worry, it'll either come back here or go somewhere else, whatever. But in the meantime, we're all under one sky and we've all got to work together and live together. There's no point allowing, say, like, for example, China to produce enormous amounts of pollution and so kind of say, yeah, but I'm green, here I am in my leafy suburbia. that doesn't work, because that pollution is going to affect every bit of the sky. I think the phrase is, when it rains, it doesn't rain on one person's roof, it rains on everybody. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to get into that whole idea. And once you can start seeing all those connections together, planets, the sun, the earth, the humans, it is very easy. It becomes evident of what you're supposed to be doing. And you can let go of a lot of stuff. I go through a lot of this stuff in my book, The Event. If you haven't bought it already, shame on you. Nah, I'm only joking. I don't actually track everybody who buys it. That's what you think. But goes into a lot of information about this. There is the second book that's coming out shortly, the moment that we've done it. Well, we've done the book. We're going through the editing stage now. We're coming down the final last 100 meters. Which is called Waves of Reality, which goes a lot more into human energies and stuff like that. But it's a fantastic thriller and story, and it's all about this stuff that's going on at the moment. What else is there to sort of say on that in depth? We could go into so much more sort of stuff, and we will be. So, subscribe to the channel. Click that bell so then you can get notified about any videos coming out, because I've got a funny feeling we're going to be doing a few sort of constant little videos, smaller videos, just to give you constant updates, because as you can see with the sun, things change very quickly. And we're now coming into that solar cycle of 25, and as we do, things are going to hot up. Things are going to get a little bit quicker, speedier. Yeah? Okay? So it'd be good to have a heads up on everything that's going on. If you do have any questions, this is the other thing as well. If you do have any questions, but I also would like to have feedback of how you've been feeling between the 30th and the 2nd. You can tell me about your heart chakra. You can tell me about the message that you've been receiving from the universe or from the earth or from the human society around you. If we share this information, so just to share this information, Wednesday was quite a difficult day. It was a bit sort of, it was a bit like sort of, going through the rapids when on a river. And then sort of, Thursday, that sort of that sort of lighter love energy sort of started coming through. And then on Friday, then obviously we had had that big sort of earthquake, which confirmed that sort of side of things. I got a lot of information on Thursday. Writing other books called The Astro Flowers, and I spent the day just downloading information, constantly downloading information, tweaking things and everything like that, and I had personal revelations, just kind of dealing with planetary setups and star signs and elements and stuff like that. And kind of having moments of just kind of going, oh yeah, of course. It's just so simple. It becomes so evident. So I had a lot of that. So that, my heart was, playing in that because I was enjoying it as well. So I had that sort of vibration came back. So it was complicated on Wednesday. Had the heart thing sort of, and message coming through on the Thursday. I'm looking for that message now to be completed on Sunday, the 1st of November. And I reckon I will have more information coming through on the 1st of November. And by the time I can sort of sift and decipher it all, I think that will be probably by next Wednesday. And then applying it in life will be in the future. So that's the sort of information I want back from you guys. If we can share it, we can understand it a lot easier. Don't worry about getting it wrong. I get it wrong all the time. It's brilliant getting it wrong because then you learn a lot. Yeah, and it's not a problem. We shouldn't really penalise people who get them wrong, who stand up and say something and get it wrong. Because they've stood up and taken the courage to stand up and say something and got it wrong, it's okay. That's good, because now everybody knows, and we can thank that person. Say, thank you very much for standing up and saying that, but no, we shouldn't be driving our cars while sitting in the boot. You know what I mean? You've tried it, doesn't work, but thank you for trying it, because now we know, and you're great for that. Thank you about that. Rather than sort of kind of going, you're an idiot, go in jail. So, I think I've probably ranted far too long already. I'm going to get in trouble for this. Please subscribe, click that bell, share this video. That is important as well. Share this video and like this video. Seriously, if you do the thumbs up, it helps get this information out there. So don't just watch it. Do click like and do share it with your Facebook, Instagram and everything like that. If you want more sort of other information, a good channel to go and visit as well is Suspicious Observers. Ben Davison, been doing it for years. He's an absolute genius or brilliant guy in the space energy weather. He's very interesting guy, very very technical. Got to be said, very very more technical. Not really into the sort of chakra sides. I know he's interested by it. And Ben, if you're listening, it was great to do your citations for your book. I did enjoy it. I hope it all came out well for you. Didn't really have a chance to speak to you after that, but I'm sure we will do in the future at some point. But yeah, if you go and see his channel, it would be great. But don't forget to subscribe here. Blimey. Do you know what I mean? I wish there was an off button. There is. And I'm finding it. That has been your energy update in depth. I hope you enjoyed it. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.